So we're in Wellman, back with Wellman on this training, and of course 4 points. Here's a variation of a particular row that we can do, combining with a hip hinge structure, a hip hinge pattern, such as a deadlift. It always makes sense for us to kind of work on a singular pattern or singular side of our body, as we are single leg moving creatures and we move from one leg to the next. So it doesn't always serve us purpose to always do stuff in a parallel position, such as deadlifts and or rows from that set profile, because of course when we want to translate it to functions such as sports, changing direction and things like that, it's not as applicable, it won't translate as best. So using a variation with our landmine setup here, where the bar ends up into the landmine section, is a great way to start. Of course, getting into a staggered kick stance step, where I'm emphasizing pushing off my foot. My hips are slightly off center and I have to center them by rotating them out, pushing my knees out. I would set up at a side profile with the edge of the said bar. From here, I would work on pulling this row structure, or row position, by tacking the shoulder blade down and back, pulling outside, keeping my legs slightly bent, then I would achieve my deadlift. Things to look out for: of course, when we typically do a deadlift with incorrect form, we tend to load our quads a little bit and extend our lower back. You don't need to necessarily do that. The focus again is to drive from our hip profile and our hip strength, and accentuating, squeezing our pelvic region forward as we make our way back up. So pinch the shoulder blades down and back, shove the knees out. I'll row outside, let it hang, but still stack the pelvis or stack the shoulder blades. As I come up, the emphasis is to squeeze the pelvis through as opposed to extending on the lower back, and then I come back down. You want to try to move in more of a slower tempo on the way down as opposed to going really fast up and down, but you can move a little bit faster on that upward phase with the lift. Stick to one side for your desired amount of reps, then of course switch to the other side, and that is our landmine kickstart or staggered stance one arm row with our deadlift.